Digital radio broadcasting from the city to the world. www.cityworldradio.com.
Hello again, all. You're up front with Frank Rothstein on the City World Radio Network, broadcasting live from New York City, somewhere in our secret hideaway. And I'm glad it's a secret. Sitting with me as always. Wait, let me even share her. Let her gaze into my camera. Wait, we're switching the camera. There she is. It's the woman. Look at her sitting in front of her bottle of Coca-Cola. Look at her. What, yeah, there it is. She likes plain old Coke. She's a real special one. She could take the tutti out of fruity and make the devil drink some wine. It is Jade Zabrick. Every week we're out here on City World Radio. We used to be on our own private signal around the world. I understand we are number 2. Our number 2 listening area is Italy. So hello to my people eating late dinner in Italy. Hello to everybody eating lunch in Hawaii and everybody in between. We're doing okay over here. If you're not listening to us on City World Radio's website, which broadcasts live on Spreaker podcast services, Spreaker.com, you can also find us live on Skies Crescent Radio, SKYES, SkiesCrescentRadio.com, and that takes us to the myriad, the spider web of networks that Jade controls. If you think Star Trek was complicated, look at Jade's website. We're everywhere. She's everywhere. So that's a story that way. We have some odd-end stories. I got some serious stories, some dumb people stories. And we have a phone if you'd like to call in, discuss any of this. Call us at 646-690-2976, 646-690-2976, and we'll be happy to discuss. Then in a little while, we'll have Jade do some shameless plugging of herself. And then I'll tell you how to reach me if you would like to write to me and all that. So a lot of the stories I have, well, not a lot. They all take place between last show and this show. One of them, as many people know, is that Disney opened up its app, its Disney app, and its streaming services. It's a vast vault of content. It's Disney. I mean, Mickey Mouse is like what, 1928? Yeah, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of characters, a lot of movies, a lot of projects. But Disney, as the headline reads, comes with a vault of racist content, and what they're doing is, I call it the racist police. I have no idea why anybody would look back in time to make you change who you were. Disney has agreed to go into its vault and re-edit, delete, erase, call it what you want, of some of its content. So let's see. And this came according to the Hollywood Reporter. Some films on the platform would be edited to remove content offensive to some. Others have suggested the movie Dumbo, for instance, would be edited and remove a scene involving a crow named Jim, because that would be a takeoff of Jim Crow era of Down South. And, well, Disney has agreed to do it with a lot of its content, but not all of it. But one scene they are going to be taking a look at is from Song of the South, Zippity Doo-Dah, because of the way the character was portrayed. That's a post-Civil War era, African Americans and all that. The song itself, Zippity Doo-Dah, is a very happy song. I mean, Zippity Doo-Dah, Zippity A, my oh my, what a wonderful day. It doesn't get better than that. It really doesn't. This falls in line with a lot of other things that I spent a lot of time during the spring and summer talking about Bowling Green University and the Gish Theater. But you hear me mention this quite often about, let me separate a story. You cannot erase history. You just can't. This is the way it is. I am not saying, I've seen a lot of these old cartoons. It's the technology used in that time period alone is quite impressive. I love the animation, the artwork, the colors. I prefer the animation from the old Looney Tunes than I do to what you have today. But the content is the content, and you cannot make it go away. Maybe a generation or two, no one will see it because the new copies that come out, the way networks will air it, so a future generation will never have heard of it. But because you're trying to make it go away. It doesn't. Song of the South, Zippity Doo-Dah is a nice piece. It has nice work done. I personally do not believe in trying to, sweep the past under a rug. I don't see how it's productive. I really do not. I try, but I try for a lot of things, but I don't always see how that's productive. Anyway, they are saying no to some of the requests. Some of it will be left as is. Some of it will be, okay. There you go. And what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to play a song very fast. You got number one? Okay. Around 1969, 68, Elvis Presley was coming back in his career. He had a little bit of a lag time. He was making some movies. He hadn't had a musical hit in years, in a few years. And what he did, one of the songs he took on was a song called "In the Ghetto." And why I picked this song, because of the story I was just reading, I was on YouTube. When I get most of my songs that I play, I go to YouTube. Maybe if I don't get a good copy of it there, I go to Spotify. I go to one of the sites where I can grab it. That's easy enough. I went to YouTube, and when I saw this song, it just became one of the songs that people over the last year have been reviewing. All the YouTubers who are just giving you their personal opinion of one song or another. In this time, all the reviewers I saw happened to be African American, black. And they're reviewing it, some older than others, some, little past being kids, some full-grown adults, depending on their age and all that. But none of them were really familiar with Elvis. I mean, they may know Don't Be Cruel, or maybe one or two others, but they don't really No Elvis. So I'm going to play the song, then we'll talk a little bit. Anyway, thank you, Hello Chef. I'm going to go back from a guy who was born in 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi. This is Elvis Presley and In the Ghetto.
As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto, and his mama cries, 'cause if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? A child needs a helping hand. He'll grow to be an angry young man someday. Take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Do we simply turn our heads and look the other way? Well, the world turns. A hungry little boy with a runny nose plays in the street as the cold wind blows in the ghetto, and his hunger burns. So he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Then one night in desperation, the young man breaks away. He buys a gun, he steals a car, tries to run, but he don't get far, and his mama cries. As a crowd gathers round, an angry young man face down in the street with a gun in his hand in the ghetto. And as her young man dies, on a cold and gray Chicago morning, another little baby child is born in the ghetto, and his mama cries.
That was a guy who only needs one name. That was Elvis, In the Ghetto, 1969. Now, I played that mostly because I saw a whole slew of people reviewing it. And again, as I said before, some never even heard Elvis sing. Well, maybe they didn't realize they heard him sing. But one thing I was thinking of, I was listening to an Eddie Murphy comedy routine, one of his routines way back when, and he was talking about how people listen to music and how dumb they could be. And one of the things he said was, when y'all listen to music, do you listen to the words or to the beat? So when you listen to Elvis, in this particular song, these lyrics are pretty. There's a lot of depth going on in here. So I'm watching the reviewers all talk about it. One guy was crying. One was most were just staring at the camera. One girl couldn't believe, which struck me, that she couldn't believe that a white man was singing. A white guy was singing this song. Well, the song was written by another white guy, Mac Davis, But the story was, a couple of them were saying, yeah, I was born in South Chicago. And one was picturing and talking about the people he knew. And there's a lot of depth in this song. Matter of fact, there's a lot of depth in a lot of the songs from that time, from the past, from a lot of the songs. Because I personally, when I hear something newer, I'm not hearing anything that deep. I don't hear a lot. especially by what comes out on the radio, the commercial songs. There are a lot of good musicians, a lot of good singers out there, but they're making their money. But Elvis, when he was singing this, you sort of could believe him. A lot of times you hear a song that I don't know if I believe the guy I'm singing, whoever's singing. I don't know that I believe the singer. But in this case, I believed him. First of all, he grew up again. He was born in Tupelo, Mississippi. When he was 13, his parents moved him to Memphis, Tennessee. He lived in what was called a shotgun shack. After World War II, people would build these inexpensive houses, and it was like almost like a railroad apartment, room upon room upon room with two doors, a couple of doors in there, and it was poverty stricken down that way. But he also did attend churches. He attended Christian, the Christian churches. He attended the Southern Baptist churches. Elvis has an extensive work in spiritual music. But he also saw a lot of things. And he understood, as did Mac Davis, who wrote the song, who was a little more well off financially, but he also saw a lot of things. They were born in the mid to late 30s, and they saw things as they went on. Anyway, I thought I would just play that song because of the story I just read. I don't know why, but I put the two together. But you cannot erase the past, and people should really stop trying. Let's get on to one of the more dumber stories of the week. All right. I got this from the Sun. I hope this is a real story. I saw it all over the place when I went to go verify it on my internet sites. Inventor creates pills which make your farts smell of roses or even chocolate. Well, there you go. There you go. The old saying of, what do you think? You smell from roses? You come from roses? Yeah. Now you can. So there you can pop a pill, eat all the broccoli, beans, and drink all the beer you want, and now you can smell like a rose. And this, I get a kick out of this. 20 pounds for a pack of 60. That's a lot of gas, man. What? One of the people who contributed to this, one of the founders, says, holding in a fart means you may breathe it out of your mouth. So, now you oh, man. For every important story, for every serious story, I could find a bunch of stupidity out there. It's 5:18. We're still going on here talking about some of the dumbest stuff I can imagine. The flat earthers are out there. Jade, you a flat earther? You sure? Just checking. The flat earth conspiracy is spreading around the globe, which somehow sounds pretty odd considering you're saying the earth is flat, but it's going around. I guess it's going around the disk. Does it hide a darker core? Okay, well, we all know what the flat earthers believe. My question is, how deep is the earth? Since you're flattening out the planet, how deep? I mean, like the old expression, you want to dig your way to China? You're going to start digging a hole, you're going to dig your way to China. Well, I want to know how long it would take me now to get to China. I want to know if it's two-sided or is Earth one-sided. Like a coin, there are two sides. I want to know what's on the other side. So, do I have to, like Batman, use a bat rope and go off the edge and swing to see what's on the other side? And I guess I want to know. This is the part of it I am curious about. Because none of these flat earthers have any evidence that they've ever jumped off. And if they jump, where would they be landing? Well, everyone's obsessed with Mars. Maybe they'll jump closer to the sun and burn. Or maybe just land on Neptune or Mercury. I don't know. All I know is that these are the questions I have about flat Earth. How round is it? What's the circumference now? Because the Earth at this time is 25,000 miles around at its widest point. I want to know, once we flatten it out, depending on how flat we are, is it like a pizza? I want to know how wide around it is. What's the circumference of Earth? And, of course, does anyone have any proof? Have they ever gone like to the Grand Canyon, did the dumb thing, and looked off the other side? Which, by the way, you would not be able to get to the other side or to any edge because of gravity would pull everybody to the center. We'd all be bunched together, which means degenerates will get a lot of cheap feels. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. So, I never really start a sentence with so, but okay. So, as we all know, President Donald Trump, when he removed our troops from Syria, the U.S. air base was left vacant, but only for a day because the Russian troops took over. And when we left, when Americans left, they left behind medical supplies, other supplies. Let me see. They left behind a lot of good. No, they left behind a lot of good things. Excuse me, but they did take home the gym equipment. For all I know, there's a few missiles laying around there in Syria waiting to be taken, like salvage. They left the medical supplies, so you're helping out whoever you want to. They can help out whoever. What else? Bedding. Well, new tenants have beds, but Americans, I don't know why, but they took home the gym equipment. They left behind barracks, beds, abandoned medical supplies, and the skeleton of a gym with weights removed to render it useless. I would think you'd leave the gym equipment behind and take home the beds. Don't let them get a good night's sleep. But either way, you can get either one. Someone's going to send it to you. But that's priorities. We took home the gym. Yeehaw. I'm going to play a song. You know why? Because I'm already worn out. Let's see. I'm already worn out. What are we? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. That's a good one. It's a little bit long way. So, Postmodern Jukebox is always at it. There's always a show going on because they have so many members. They could probably put on 3 concerts every night in different locations, which their upcoming schedule reflects that, by the way. I was not kidding when I said it. A while back, they were covering, of all bands, The Police. So, along with Ariana Savalas and Danny Armstrong, this is Postmodern Jukebox. Jacqueline McSpadden is leading the group, and this is Every Breath You Take.
Every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every single day, every word you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Every breath you take, or can't you see? You belong to me, yeah. I'm a party with every breath you take, every move you make, every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stake, I'll be watching you. Since you're gone, I'm lost without a trace. I dream at night
That was Jacqueline McSpadden, Ariana Savalas, and Danny Armstrong with Every Breath You Take. I like that version. It was nice. She has a great voice. And Postmodern Jukebox always has great taste. What else is going on in the world here? Oh, man. Back to sad. Vegan parents accused of starving 18-month-old son to death on raw food diet. And it says, two vegan parents and from Florida. It's always Florida or Australia for me. Don't I know any nutty people in Missouri? Are accused of starving their 18-month-old son to death by feeding him only raw fruits and vegetables. Sheila O'Leary, 35, Ryan O'Leary, 30, face charges of manslaughter and child neglect in the death last month of their son, who weighed just 17 pounds. Wow. The mom called 911 to report the boy was cold and not breathing, while her husband attempted to resuscitate in their Cape Coral home. When authorities arrived, the malnourished child was pronounced dead. Okay. I don't know that it's a manslaughter charge. I really don't. I think people are just that dumb. That a vegan lifestyle, to many degrees, can be extreme. One thing about babies, about infants, they're not people. Well, people eat vegan diet. Well, yes, people can eat vegan diets. Infants are not people. Babies are not people. They're babies. They can't tell you when they're not feeling well. They can't tell you anything. They all cry. They all go in their diaper. They all throw up. It looks normal, no matter who it is. Babies need fat. Babies need proteins that come from animals, that come from the average food. For an infant, for a newborn, an infant, a toddler, baby, whatever. They should not be put on a vegan diet of any kind until their pediatrician clears them at whatever age it may be based on who they are, that they can attempt to do this. And parents should know that. There is no law saying you have to breastfeed a baby. There is no law saying you have to feed a baby 6 pounds of lard a day to give it fat. But there are certain requirements, certain nutritional needs that babies have that parents know this. They're not helping the planet by doing this to their kid, who they should have noticed was looking thinner and thinner and thinner, and they didn't do it. And this baby, this otherwise healthy baby, starved to death. And that's just what happened. And I'm not sure if it is manslaughter. I don't know how this works out. What did it say? They told the authorities before the toddler's death he had not eaten solid food in the week, but was being breastfed. But that's because the mother isn't getting a lot of the. You know, it doesn't matter. It might as well be pre-chewed. It's all this. She's passing on the same nutrition that she's getting. So yeah, there's a reason why baby formula does work. Not every woman breastfeeds. There is a reason why baby formula works, and this kid died through negligence, not neglect. Negligence. What's this? Oh, here's a good story. Let me see what else is going on. Oh, yeah, I was talking to everybody around here. I want everybody in front of a computer, please go and Google ankle scarves. A-N-K, not angle, A-N-K-L-E. The little area, that little bony thing protruding from just above your foot. Ankle scarves. This is the fashion trend. Been around for a while, but it's catching on. Why should you have to sacrifice fashion just because winter brings Arctic-esque temperatures? Oh man! Instead of opting out of the skin-showing bottoms, just wrap your ankles with scarves, because apparently that's the thing now, and that's what they are: little miniature scarves that wrap around your ankle. in all the greatest, coolest colors you can buy them in. And they're not just wraps. These just look like real scarves with little fringe and tassels at the bottom. And I don't know, it's going to get pretty damn cold out. Wouldn't a pair of socks help? Shouldn't you have pants on that maybe go to the normal length that may work? I mean, yes, I understand you're sticking for fashion and you're thinking that you look good doing it, but when you have the flu and you're missing your days at work, but you have your style, you're wearing ankle scarves. As I was telling people, I hope everyone trips over them because it's dumb. And when the knot gives out and you do trip on them or you simply lose one, well, yeah, don't bitch about it. Oh, it's rough being me. I got to read all this stuff. It's 5:33. What is this? I'm telling you. We always talk about the trans athletes who are now posting victories and shaking up sports. Yes, yes, yes. Transgender athletes are having a moment at all levels of sport, and they're stepping onto the podium and into headlines. New Zealand weightlifter Laurel Hubbard won 2 gold medals at the Pacific Games, and college senior Cece Telfer became the NCAA Division II national champion at the 400-meter run. Well, we've all heard these stories before. Transgender women, guys who became women competing against the girls. This will do a lot of things. One is it'll make sure that there's a certain amount of top, if you have to qualify like, say, top 6, top 8 of whatever competition to get to the finals or to get to whatever it is, to get you, 2 women will be eliminated. Track field. And it's not that when I know the criteria is for the most part, the competitors have to go for a year of testosterone therapy to lower their testosterone levels. But as I keep reminding people, they have male-developed muscle. They have male-developed mechanics. They heal better, faster. They heal faster. They explode for power as opposed to what a female does. You know what will wind up happening? Women will wind up taking steroids to compete with the transgender athletes because otherwise they're screwed. Because people are losing scholarships. People are losing opportunity. And to me, especially when it goes to comedy, you've heard what I've had to say about transgender women in MMA, doing mixed martial arts or in boxing. And it's dangerous. It's bad. And all these guys who want to identify as women to compete against women, especially when they're punching them in the head, get no respect from me because look what you're doing. I've read about 2 fighters with fractured skulls for nothing. All for nothing. But yes, that's going on over and over and over. I was reading that, what is this? Was it 5:36? Oh, I don't know. We'll talk about a couple of things. Play a little more music. I don't know. Let's see. So every now and then I can win a few bar drinks. I win a few cheap bets. One is I ask people to name the 7 dwarfs. Or I love old westerns. I like to see if people can name the original Magnificent 7. Can any of you name the 7 dwarfs without Googling? Well, there's a new one which says, what do AM and PM stand for? 12 a.m. or 1 a.m., 1 p.m. Not perimeter, no. They're Latin phrases. And one is ante-meridium, with them at the end. Ante-meridium, which is before midday. And it is PM, which is post-meridium, which is after midday. So, yeah, those are 2 things that everyone knows to say, oh, it's 1 a.m., but you don't even know what it means. A lot of people don't know what it means, and they're Latin expressions. So, yes. I got that from the Huffington Post. I'm happy with that. I'm going to play a song. Which one should I play? Listen, since I'm on a roll over here, song number 2. Now, song number 2 I think is good. Yeah. I want the Reverend. You got it? Yeah, you got it. Okay. I'm going back. No, I'm going back. I'm going to use the expression of every 17-year-old today. Back in the day, in other words, 2018, the Reverend Peyton's Big Damn Band came out with some music, and this one is You Can't Steal My Shine. Jade. We don't need her talking. No, we don't need her talking. Hello, there we are. I know my voice. I recognize it. But okay, what's going on here? So anyway, I'm just going to keep on playing some songs. I have a couple of things to laugh at here, but I'm going to play some more songs. Jade sits here and laughs at me. Let me get a picture of Jade laughing at me because... No. There it is. And I kept saying it over and over and over. But why listen to me? I just know the music I pick. So anyway, there's Jade laughing. Hello. Wave to the people, Jade. Let us see your smile. Jade always wonders, every now and then, wonders where I get some of these stupid-ass introductions I give to her. Some of them I just create as I go along. Some of them are really just song lyrics that just happen to sound good. They have no particular meaning. Anyway, I'm going to go to a song that I borrow from every now. I go to a lot of from an artist I borrow from every now and again. You have it? Okay, so I'm going to give you one of my favorites, Screamin' Jay Hawkins from 1956 with Little Demon.
Down in the valley on the foggy hill rock stood a crazy little demon blowing his top. Fire in his eyes and smoke from his head. You gotta be real cool to hear the words he said. He did that. That guy was mad. He had steam in his soul for the one he loved, so he had death on his mind, cause Miss Demon let him go. He gonna run through the world till he understand his pain. Somebody help him get Miss Demon home again. He did he even pushed back time. He took the tootie out of fruity. He had the devil drinking wine. He did the that cat was mad. She finally got across to the crazy little demon that a woman's still a boss. Down in the valley on the foggy hill rock, you can still hear the demon blowing his top. Beat it up. He pushed back night, bought in afternoon. He even made leap year jump over the moon. Took the 4th of July, he put in May. He took this morning, bought back yesterday. He did a
And that's where I got Jade's introduction for the week. I don't know if she caught it or not, but that's where I got it. See, she was fading. She's preoccupied. So it came out this week that our president's spiritual advisor, it chokes me up just reading about it, has told people, let's see, it says Paula White, his spiritual advisor, it says, Christians are mandated by God to give televangelist Jim Bakker money, and those who give will be rewarded by the Department of Treasury in heaven that God is watching over. And that is Pastor Paula White, her quote for the day. And this pretty much says, and you ever watch these televangelists, these spiritual leaders who go on with churches the size of like a baseball stadium or even bigger, that you could fill up all of Central Park with all their followers? She's not asking you for every dollar, which, by the way, if everyone in the country would give her $1, she'd probably have $200 million. But we're talking about whether it's $100,000, whether it's $10,000. It's going to be wonderful that you have your plaque. This is beautiful. What? I'm watching televangelists for years. I grew up watching, well, it was Billy Graham. But then there was the Reverend Ike. The Reverend Ike was pretty good. He had a good act going on. He had the purple suits. He had the jewelry all over himself. And he sweating on TV, telling you how much he needs money. I need money. That's a lot of them. They all need money. One good thing about religion, spiritual as it is, and God loves you, but he needs a loan. He needs a few bucks. I don't know why. Does God have a credit card? I don't get it. But yeah, so you have to give all your hard-earned money to God. I remember the Reverend Gene Scott years ago on cable. He'd sit there. He had eyes like Paul Newman, bright blue. He had really good eyes. But he sat there, whether it was in a church or in like an office, with an angry sound. I'm waiting for you to give me $100,000. I'm waiting to raise $100,000 lest I jump through the TV and grab you. And he'd sit there. He'd just play the same song over and over and come back insulted like he didn't make his money. But that's what goes on. And you know what's going to happen? This is actually very smart because she's tapping into Donald Trump's followers. Probably some donators that never donated before. Everything you do, you are storing up eternal treasure that will go so far beyond. I think that I think that we can even begin to imagine that you are mandated by God. Oh man. One of her other statements was, Christians will take over the U.S. and that any opposition to Trump is opposition to God. And this is what's going on. There you go. It's 5:48. The hell with the rest of the stories. Yes, I said hell. Before I play my last couple of songs, just out of the New York Post, from wherever they got it, this is the buzzkill. Doctors warn women not to masturbate with an electronic toothbrush. That's right, lady. Your oral B is useless. That's just what it says. I'm not kidding. A British gynecologist is warning women not to use an electronic toothbrush to masturbate after recent articles about the new trend. Okay. Anne Henderson told the UK's Sun newspaper that an electronic device is better than suited for cleaning teeth and could cause damage to a lady's parts. There you go. Yes, because I don't even have an A or B or a C to this one. This is dumb. The picture I saw was of an electronic toothbrush. I don't get it, but I can't imagine the damage being done. Oh, man, this is getting rough. We're going to play out a couple of songs, and if I have to take a couple of minutes from the next show, good for me. Which song are we pulling up over here? Let me see. Give it a pick, Jade. Okay. We all know I've been pushing my favorite band, the Mavericks. Well, listen, you saw it. It says it right there. You are in a daze today. You're looking, but it says it. You're looking. The woman's not paying attention. I might as well not be here. Today she would probably, hearing voices in her head, think I'm really broadcasting, and I could be somewhere else. The sign says the Mavericks play the hits. Oh, man, it's rough today. So this is my favorite band who just released an album recently covering songs from all over the place. This time, Raul Malo is teaming up with country star Martina McBride, and they are performing Once Upon a Time.
Once upon a time, I almost lost my mind. I was lonely, so lonely. Once upon a time, hoping every day things would go my way. Then you came into my life. Now everything is fine. I never knew what love could do till I met you. Now everything's so cozy. Now my skies are blue all because of you. I'm so glad I was lonely once upon a time. I never knew what love could do till I met you. Now everything's so cozy. Now my skies are blue all because of you. I'm so glad I was lonely once upon a time. Oh, so lonely
That was the Mavericks, along with Martina McBride. That's pretty much it for us. I'm going to play one more song to play out. I thank everybody for tuning in. Hopefully some of the stories meant something. Hopefully you like some of the music. Hopefully Jay takes a nap. And when we come back next week, I hope we do it all again. I'm going to leave you with Social Distortion from their 2011 album, Hard Times and Nursery Rhymes. This is Give Me the Sweet and Low Down. Have a good night, everybody.
Was a moonlight mishap. You lost your party hat. Seems your lifestyle ain't so worthwhile after all. A heavy-hearted taxi ride. Will I walk on the wild side? Did you call an angel let you down? Gonna lay low and play it straight. It's time to rejuvenate. Gonna kickstart your heart to come around. I can't tell you now. You really got the blues. I can't tell you now. I'm walking your shoes. Give me the sweet lowdown. You gotta get out the way. It's history made the hard way. From a hero to zero once again. Ain't no time for vanity. Oh, this insanity. You're now adjusted and now you're busted once again. I can't tell you now. Comes as no surprise. I can't tell you now. By that look in your eyes, give me the sweet lowdown. You're looking kinda construct. If that's the way you strut your stuff, with a swing and a swag down the road you go. You should have made a better choice. Listen to your inner voice. You gotta get right or get left, don't you know? I can't tell you now. It's the evil bad news. I can't tell you now. Gotta walk in your shoes. Give me the sweet lowdown. The sweet lowdown. Give me the sweet
When it comes to providing guide dogs for people who are blind or